Bonjour, bonjour, and welcome. Bienvenue to Introduce Yourself Confidently in French. We have 3 days together, and today is jour numéro 1. Day 1, we will talk about saying 5 things about yourself. Now, here's what we'll focus on. I'm going to help you create a short personal introduction in French that sounds like you, not like a textbook or like a robot. We'll work only in the present tense. And by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to say 5 things about yourself in French with a little personality and flair. I will include some sentence starters for you to be able to add your own touch to them. Step number 1, you're going to choose who you're talking to. Why? Because the person you imagine speaking to will influence what you'll say and how you'll say it. So I've put together a little list for you. Imagine these in-person conversation partners. A new French neighbor, you're meeting for the first time, a friendly Airbnb host who's giving you the keys, a woman sitting next to you at a cafe, a tour guide you meet who's making polite small talk, maybe a local woman who you met during a cooking class, a fellow guest at a restaurant who you know is French, a shopkeeper or a baker or a florist, or just a friendly stranger or a new acquaintance from your French yoga or walking group. So just choose one, write it down if that helps. And this is the audience, the person you will be speaking to for today's task. If you're meeting and practicing with people online on Zoom like this, you might want to imagine one of these person, a fellow student in your French conversation Zoom group, a French tutor during a private one-on-one session, a person you've just met in an online French book club, a language exchange partner you've connected with via email, a French person in a travel planning Facebook group you've been messaging, or an imaginary French pen pal who finally turned on her webcam and now you're ready to introduce yourself. Let me see. I'm trying to get to the next slide. Here we go. Oh. Technical problems where here we go. Let's go with our sentence builders. Sorry about that. To get started, we are going to focus on the topic about you. Keep it simple. Je m'appelle, or moi c'est, and your name. My name is, or me, it's your name. You can add je suis australienne, je suis italien, je suis anglais, for masculine, or anglaise, for feminine. Je suis à la retraite, je suis étudiant, masculine, or je suis étudiante, feminine. Je suis professeur de français, and because it's impossible to list everything, I have added some extra jobs and extra professions for you to build more sentences in the printable that comes with this lesson. So these are building blocks. This is about you. We'll cover where you come from, where and with who you live, and what you like. We're going to keep it nice and simple. And the about you part, you can use je suis with lots of things. Your nationality, your job. If you're a fan of a certain thing, we can reuse that je suis to share things that you like. And we'll come back to that in the next part. So you don't need to cover all of them, just pick your favorites based on who you're speaking to. Section number 2 is more where you come from. So use this part to add a little bit of context. Are you a visitor or local or someone in between? It all depends on who you're meeting and who you're speaking to. So you can use phrases like je viens de, I come from, and then you can introduce your city or your country. There's no fiddling with de. It's nice and straightforward. Je viens de, I come from. The only thing that might change is if the city or country starts with a vowel or the letter H. In that case, DE will be D apostrophe. I've put some more extra countries ideas in the printable, again, the prompt sheet that will come with this lesson so that you can add a little bit of hopefully find your own country in that list. So you can stop with that first line, or you can add je viens de somewhere et maintenant j'habite à and a different place. I come from this place and now I live in and put a city there. After à, you can only put a city or a suburb. Mais je suis en vacances ici. I think a lot of people like to introduce themselves when they're on holiday. So you might say, I come from this place, but I am on holidays here. Mais je suis en vacances ici. Excellent. For the next part, where and with who you live. Just add 1 or 2 details that show a little bit of your life. So you're going to use these just as sentence builders and swap out and add the information that is personal to you. So you can say, j'habite à, and your city or your suburb, avec somebody, maybe mon mari. Avec mon mari is with my husband. Avec ma femme, with my wife, or seul, alone. Whether it's masculine or feminine spelling, extra E or not, it's the same pronunciation, seul. I have 2 kids, or I have 3 grandkids. J'ai 2 enfants. J'ai 3 petits-enfants. My daughter lives in France. Maybe that's the reason you're conversing with this person. You're visiting them, or you've heard someone say that they used to live in France, and you might want to share that someone you know. It doesn't have to be ma fille, my daughter, can be anybody. Lives in France. Habite en France. If you want to share a little bit about pets, you can say we have 2 perroquets et un hamster. Again, tweak this for whatever animals you might have. Nous avons 2 perroquets et un hamster. Or, j'ai un petit chien qui s'appelle, I have a little dog called, literally who calls himself, who is named. I have a little dog called, this is how we'll say it. J'ai un petit chien qui s'appelle, and the dog's name. In this part, we're going to talk more about what you like, which is a really great conversation pillar to get to know someone and share things you like and not, find commonalities and become friends. So the first one is, I am passionate about. Je suis passionné de. Je suis passionné de. Be careful of your pronunciation there, because the word passion in English is very different to passionné, even though it looks similar. We'll have that nice s in there. Passionné de livres, books, voyage, travel, or trips, travel, long languages. Or, bit simpler, J'aime something. J'aime voyager. I love to travel. Je déteste, if you wanted to be a bit stronger in your statement, or j'adore and an activity. So you can mix and match aller à la gym, going to the gym, going to the gym, the sports room. Salle de sport, sometimes we say la gym is fine. J'adore la cuisine française. You can use j'adore or j'aime or je déteste with a thing, not just an action, like voyager or aller. J'adore la cuisine française. And you can stop there. If you want to expand a little bit, a nice little tip for you is to add things with and, et, or with but, mais, to extend your sentences a little bit. If you're able to do that, start with shorter sentences. If you're comfortable with that, try and include a few et or mais. J'adore la cuisine française, mais je n'aime pas cuisiner. I love French cuisine, but I don't like to cook. Je n'aime pas trop faire du sport. I don't really like doing sport. Je n'aime pas trop, and then you can add a thing or an activity. The last one to share things you like, as an example, is j'aime apprendre le français et, and another thing you love, écouter de la musique française. I love to learn French and listen to French music. So keep remembering who you're speaking to and what's appropriate for that exchange. Here's an example if you're ready to put it all together. Un exemple. Je m'appelle Claire, je suis australienne et je viens de Brisbane. J'ai 2 fils adultes, mais maintenant j'habite seule avec mon petit chien Rex. J'aime bien cuisiner, mais je n'aime pas faire la vaisselle. Je parle un peu français. So let's look at this quick example, what it means in English first, in case there's any new words here. My name is Claire. I am Australian. I come from Brisbane. I have 2 adult sons, but now I live alone with my little dog Rex. J'aime bien would be I quite like cooking, but I don't like doing the dishes. I speak a little bit French. So can you see how more human this kind of introductions will make you sound? It's not about reciting something you've seen in a book. It's about putting together a few things that have a bit more personality. So I hope you enjoyed that example and you can mirror it. We're keeping it short. I didn't use something from all the potential things you could say, but for day 1, this is where we're going to go. So options for your introductions. You're going to choose your conversation partner. You're going to list 5 things about yourself. You're going to keep it simple. You're going to only use sentence starters that are similar to what we used with the present tense that you can personalize for yourself. So make sure you don't try say something overly complicated, but make it personal still. So your goal is to stick to 5 sentences because we want to make sure that you feel very comfortable with what you've put together. If you do more, you may not be able to recall them. You may be adding too much. For that first interaction, let's keep it simple. 5 sentences, just like the example I gave you. You can read them, say them out loud, and record yourself. You can write them down and type them up. If you're not ready to speak yet, that's fine. Either way, don't aim for perfection. Here, we're just aiming for a way for you to connect with someone else. This is just part 1 of 3, so don't worry. It's normal to hesitate and feel unsure. That is part of the process. Your French might be simple right now, but simple French is still French. Let's make these 5 first sentences your sentences, really unique to yourself. And don't forget to check out the printable sheet called Say 5 Things About Yourself That Aren't Boring. It has lots of sentence starters, very flexible, some vocabulary ideas, and examples to help you out. Voila, that's it for day 1. Come and share your 5 sentences intro with us, and we will build them up together. À demain pour day 2, pour jour numéro 2, when we'll turn sentences into questions so that you can start having an exchange with someone else. Voilà. Au revoir. Au revoir.